僕ですか?
Tondagosa, this is Cody Nokolo, and today I'm talking with Copper and McThrillington, the sound team for the upcoming Mother fan remake, Mother Encore. How have you both been doing, and how's development on Encore's soundtrack progressing?
I'm great personally, and the soundtrack's going great. You know, it's nearly done. What about you,
Wow.
Copper?
I'm doing just fine, yeah. I've been going through the process of redoing some of my old tracks that I'd done about a year ago. But yeah, we're almost done the soundtrack.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Before I ask anything else, I want to ask some questions about your experience with the Mother series first. So, first question, where did you first discover the Mother series, and how did you feel during your first experiences with it?
Well, I discovered the Mother series through a little known fella on YouTube called Chugga Conroy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched his playthrough and just fell in love with the story, the setting. Everything is just perfect. So I then went away and played the other games and thoroughly enjoyed it. You know. What about you, Copper?
Well, I was introduced to the Mother series back in middle school, because back in middle school was that time where Undertale was very big, and I used to watch a lot of Undertale theory videos because I was a middle schooler and I didn't understand what good content was. And
There's some good ones out there.
there are, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's not to put down any Undertale theorist stuff there. It's just
That's just
Yeah,
a theory.
yeah. Something one of the most infamous Undertale theories is the Sans' Nest video.
Oh, yeah.
And I always knew SNES from Smash Bros. And I remember Matt Pat bringing up this game called Earthbound, and I'm like, what is Earthbound? So I did a little digging, and I legally got me a copy of Earthbound, wink wink.
Oh, yeah.
And I tried playing it, and I was never good at it, because besides Undertale, I'd never played a proper RPG.
Oh, really? Wow.
But I really enjoyed it. Even I never got too far. I was always stuck at trying to figure out where Giant Step was.
Oh, yeah.
I was not catching on, but I still really enjoyed it. Mother Tooth vibe is great. It instantly pulled me in.
So you got into the Mother series from the Sans' Nest video.
Little bit of a broad way of putting it. I would
That's
say
really tragic.
I know.
That's cool though.
A little bit of a copper lore there.
That's great. Okay, so next question. What are your favorite games in the series?
So, I've beaten all of them. I think my favorite is probably Mother 1. No bias, because I work on Encore.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just really like Mother 1. Specifically, the prototype translation version. That's the one I always play. It's so hard, and it's such a pain in the ass, but I always go back to it.
Yeah, there's like the easy ring and stuff, but it's a different kind of experience to just play it without any kind of hacks, just as is.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I really like Mother 1. I think thematically and story wise, I think I like the first one the best. Gameplay and I don't know, just overall goodness of it. I suppose the second game is my favorite, and the third game I don't. I controversially really dislike it. Yeah.
I've heard that's been a reaction from some people. Yeah, I've never actually. I don't think I've ever actually met anybody who's had that opinion, but I've heard that a lot of people have. Especially in Japan, I heard that was a reaction to it there.
Really?
From Japanese fans, yeah.
They're correct, is what I'm going to say.
Alright, moving on from that, just your favorite game. So, what are your favorite characters, songs, moments, anything like that from the series?
That's a hard one.
I bet,
I'm gonna pass that
pretty
over
broad.
to you.
My favorite character right off the bat, to surprise no one, it's probably Ninten.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Ninten, out of all the protagonists, has, the least character, right? Because
I kind of agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. They don't really spend a lot of time introducing you to Ninten, and that's kind of the intent with a lot of Mother protagonists, because, you're supposed to kind of project yourself onto that character, and it makes it more personal. But, with Mother 2 and Mother 3, they spend some time, building up that this is their own character as well, right? Especially with Mother 3.
Mother 3 does that especially, yeah.
Yeah, but like with Nintendo, I think there's only like one scene that they really do that, and that's the fall in love scene.
Definitely, yeah.
But that's what I really like about Nintendo because how lacking he is with his own character, that leaves much more room for you to project yourself onto that character. It makes Mother One feel really personal to me, which is why it's probably my favorite.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's a very good choice for that reason. Yeah,
thank you.
I like Liar Exaggerate.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know why. I just think he's fucking hilarious.
He's pretty funny.
It took me like a year to get what his name was.
It's so good.
It is. I always said Lear Exaggerate, and then I just looked at it one time and went, "Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot."
But that's my choice. I've just thrown that out there. Best moment in the games. I don't know. Probably going to Magicant for the first time in both of the games, both 1 and 2.
Yeah,
it's just something quite
special moments.
Yeah, really special. And as for like songs, I don't know, but Mother Encore has some really great tracks. That some of the original stuff is probably my favorite. No, but really, I like Flying Man a lot from
Flying Man's so good.
The soundtrack specifically. Yeah. What about you, Calvin? What's your favorite like track then? Yeah.
Oh man, that's hard because there's a lot of them and they all come from Mother One. Mother One is a really good soundtrack. I think if I had to pick a top 3, I think number 3 would probably be Pollyanna, because it's Pollyanna. Everybody likes Pollyanna.
Oh yeah, everybody does.
Right? You will never meet a Mother fan that doesn't like Pollyanna. Number 2 would probably be All That I Needed Is You, because that's just a really good song, and the encore version of that is fucking phenomenal.
Thank you. I made that in 2016, so.
It's really good.
Oh wow, 2016?
Yeah, I think, or maybe 17. It's an old one though, really old.
We've been working on Encore since 1998, boys.
Yeah.
Number 1 is sorry to interrupt. Number 1 is probably it's either Tank or Snowman, because both those are really good.
Two ends of the spectrum as well. Like you've got Tank really hard, heavy rock, and Snowman really floaty and whatever.
I'm a big sucker for very loud and brash.
That's funny.
Music.
I think when I was. I feel like when I was editing your the Mother Direct and I was doing Hypersomnia's part, I very specifically picked Tank for some reason because I thought it fit with that vibe.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's funny that you really like that song. That was a good pick, I guess. Anyways, let's see. So the next question I have, not as broad, but still personal, I think. Which aspects of the Mother series were the most inspiring for both of you?
Ooh, inspiring. I mean, the soundtrack in general is quite inspiring. It's not so much a moment as it is,
Right.
It kind of showed me how to construct songs. It's very weird and quite sort of steeped in pop culture, and I really like that. And it showed me that I could do something similar,
Yeah.
That's inspirational in a way, I guess.
Definitely, yeah.
For me, it's definitely how subversive the games are. Because I went into Mother with the expectations everybody had in like Nintendo Power in the 90s. They just look at it at face value. This is just this little Charlie Brown looking game, right? And it's for 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
But when I actually got around to playing it, it's a much more interesting game than everybody made it seem. It's definitely one of those games you could just spend hours talking about and you'll never fully describe it good enough. And just like how many simple concepts the Mother series takes and just flips on its head to make it more interesting. It really showed me how to kind of develop interesting concepts, right? And that combined with everything I kind of learned from playing Undertale is what led to me making Hypersomnia.
Right, yeah.
I also agree with Owen, the music is very inspirational. Not to toot my main fan project horn or anything, but Encore is what like really got me into music, because I didn't join Encore to do music originally. I joined it to do sprite art. And after PK Fire and Benichi kind of took lead with sprite art, I kind of just shifted my focus fully into music.
I tell you what, like beginning this project, I don't want to be rude, but like your stuff wasn't great.
No,
but now
okay.
Now it is absolutely incredible. Like the leaps and bounds that you've made musically, it's mad. You've really become a great musician.
Thank you.
I don't want to be soppy or anything because it's not in my character, but it's really good. You're doing some really good stuff.
Thank you.
Also, I had a quick listen to the track you sent me for HYPERSOMNIA, and that's fucking great, man. Honestly,
thank you.
Really good. So, anyone looking forward to HYPERSOMNIA, look forward to the soundtrack because it's good so far.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear more of that myself because after hearing all the stuff from that you've done for Encore Copper, I'm excited for that too.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we'll get to HYPERSOMNIA and a few more questions.
I'll stop talking about it for now.
No,
I swear.
It's okay. You can say whatever. It's fine. The next question is, this one kind of goes back to your history with the community. It seems like you both got into Mother a little later on, so I don't know if this will pertain to you, but I'll ask it anyway. Did you ever interact much with the community on starmen.net when it was more active? And if so, what was your first impression of that community?
I did, is it FanFest? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
The art thing. I put some art together. Some horrible MS Paint art. Yeah, probably about 2008 or something like that.
Wow.
It was awful, so don't try and dig that up.
I want to see it.
But yeah, that was like my first foray into the community, and I don't think anybody really liked me. That's fair though, you know, I was like a kid, so...
When I was getting into Earthbound, I did try Starman, but I had a bad experience with it my first time, so I just never used it. And then Mother Forever came around, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. When I found out about Starman, I was like, oh, this seems really cool, I'm going to sign up for it. I went through the sign-up process, you know, it's like I put in my email, made a password, username, blah, 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 and it just didn't create my account.
Oh, no.
Like, it just didn't work, and I was like, what the hell? Bad. Yeah, so I just didn't use Starman. I made a proper account recently, and then after a few days, I realized I'm probably not going to use Starman ever.
Yeah, I remember I used to be like a lurker. Then I made an account around the Camp Fangamer conventions. And yeah, same thing. I never really used it again after that.
I did start getting involved with the community over Twitter though, because I joined Twitter originally to post art I made for Mother's 30th anniversary, and I went in there being like, oh, I'm going to post this and I'm going to get 1 billion likes and it's going to be awesome. And I posted it and I don't think anybody liked it.
To be fair, I had a similar experience on SoundCloud. I put up an album, Mother and Son, because I thought that was a good title, but whatever. But yeah, I put out I think 10 or 12 songs.
Wow.
Just various ones from the back catalogue of tracks. One of which was the All That I Needed Was You, which is being used in Encore. And I put it out 2016, 2018, something like that. And I got a few likes and stuff, but no one really approached me and was like, do you want to be friends?
Yeah.
So,
I feel like the community was wasn't broken up really, but it was separated a lot, I think, after 2015 or so, from 2015 to 2020. It was all over the place, I feel like, or it was starting to break up a little bit.
Undertale did irreversible damage to the Mother community.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I don't think it was that, but
I think it was.
The only thing I associate with the year of 2015. The only thing that happened is Undertale came out.
I think there just wasn't a lot of... after Mother 1 was re-released, there just wasn't really a lot after that for Mother fans until the Mother project recently, I think.
I think Lucas might have been DLC for Smash 4 in 2015. But I don't remember.
Lucas
Smash 4 wasn't my game.
Lucas was DLC in 2015, and Mother 1 was re-released.
Mother fans eating good 7 years ago.
So on to the next question that also has to do with the community generally. What were your favorite experiences you've had with the Mother community?
I suppose the favorite sort of moment in the Mother community has been these Mother Directs. That's what got me onto this project. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw the first Direct and I heard the music and I thought, yeah, I could join in. I could submit some tracks, and 2 years later, I'm still here. So. Yeah. But yeah, that was good. I think that was probably the first moment where the Mother community kind of got together again. I don't want to say that was the moment, but I think it might be.
I agree. I think my favorite moment probably would have been the Mother Directs, Specifically the third one. I feel like the third one was really strong.
Yeah, there's some great stuff in there.
Yeah. You and the team knocked it out this year, Cody. Jesus.
Tried my best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it was all thanks to everybody who participated, really. They made all the announcements. I just put them in order.
Yeah.
I think it started coming together. Mother Forever came about around the same year in 2020, but I think it might have also been because of Hobonichi actually like making merchandise for it again.
Oh, yeah.
That probably played a really big part in it. And Mother Forever just so happened to be there at the same time. Glad that they had a positive impact on you.
Absolutely.
Definitely, yeah.
This is kind of moving away from the Mother community and back to the Mother games themselves. Do you have any strong opinions or other thoughts on the N64 version of Mother 3?
I think it would have been a better game, personally.
Really?
I really like the art style. Controversial, I know, but
A lot of fans of it really like the art style, it seems like.
Yeah, and the music sounds pretty good. Although, yeah, I don't want to get into it, but I think compositionally it isn't that great. But the sound of it's really good. I just think it would have been a better game. It seemed at home on the N64, and it just kind of seemed like a last-ditch attempt to release it on the Game Boy.
Yeah, I think they definitely were trying to reuse a lot of the stuff that was already worked on for so long.
I think the GameCube would have been a better place for it, or even the Wii, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
Mother 3 on the Wii.
The Wii.
It works, you know?
How about you, Copper?
For a long time, I've been very indifferent to Mother 3 on the N64, yeah. Because, like, whenever I see it, I compare it to the GBA release, and I'm like, this is, like, Mother 3 on the N64, really cool.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting relic from the late 90s and early 2000s. And I hope someday, like, we find a build of it, and we can play it, and, like, document it.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I feel like Mother 3 on the GBA is more consistent with the series, except story-wise.
The thing, yeah, like story-wise, it was such a departure that I feel like the graphical sort of similarity between the three games doesn't work. It's such a different game, like thematically and mood, that the switch up in graphics would have been perfect for it. That's just my opinion again. Sorry.
Weird take of mine. I feel like Mother 3 feels more like a fan game.
Really?
Yeah.
Really good soundtrack.
Wow.
A really
a really well written soundtrack.
It works great for the game. Like thematically and everything, the soundtrack is perfect, but it's not a Mother soundtrack in my opinion. It just doesn't feel the same.
Sorry, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to Mother 3. That's my favorite game. But it's interesting to hear the perspective of both of you about it.
Us Mother 1 fans are ruthless.
Yeah.
That's okay. I like Mother 1 a lot too. Now that we've got through a lot of your thoughts on games and the community, let's move on to Encore first. Did you have any expectations of Encore when you started development, and did those expectations change at this point?
Well, you started first, Copper, so I think you should go first.
When I joined Encore, I joined it before it was Mother Encore, right? I joined it when the project was still Mother 30th Anniversary Edition. And, like, the current state the game was in was the videos that Sam has uploaded on his channel. Mm-hmm. So it was still in that really rough state. And I was younger when I joined Encore, so I didn't really think much of it. But looking back, I'm really glad that, like, everybody on the team made the changes and we all had the arguments that we did, because I think it's really benefited the game, and it's blown my expectations away.
Yeah, at this point it really feels, to me as an outsider on the project, it really feels like a complete reimagining, not just story-wise or anything else, but gameplay-wise too. That's a good thing, I think. I don't think enough remakes or reimaginings go back and think about changing the gameplay more to make it a better game, too. So, that's nice, I think. My opinion.
I mean, I didn't really have any expectations going into Encore. And when I joined, it was already en route to being a great game. But I suppose that the one thing that sort of surpassed my expectations is how much we're putting into it, and all the different sort of elements. Like we saw in the last trailer, the puzzles and stuff like that, which I think is really great. It's sort of quite Zelda-ish, which I think fits the first game especially.
I can definitely see that, and probably I don't know anything about the inside of development, but I'm sure a lot of those puzzles are probably going to be used to break up some segments of Mother 1 that were more monotonous and
yes, definitely
not so
definitely.
well designed like the factory and things like that. So
Yeah,
that's a really good idea, I think. And it plays into the game really well.
yeah. I've had a go of it, and it's really fun. So
Can't wait.
yeah.
Also related to Encore, but this can also apply to anything else you're working on. Are there many times where it's difficult for you to get motivated to work on anything, whether it's music or anything else? And is there anything you tend to do to get yourself motivated to work on something?
Absolutely. The thing with music and creating is that you can't just force it. It's the same with any sort of anything like art or whatever. If you have an idea, you need to write it down immediately because it might not come back. Like literally last night, I came up to the studio. I thought, right, I'm going to do some music for Encore. And I sat in front of my computer screen for about 2-3 hours and nothing happened at all. Because you just get days like that.
Yeah.
But then again, like maybe tomorrow I can do the same thing and come up with a hit in a way. I don't know about you, Copper, but that's how I feel anyways.
It's mostly the same with me too. I think a lot of the problem stems from how far we are with the soundtrack for the game at this point. Because a lot of times I see myself just sitting with Ableton open and I'm just like, what can I do right now besides remaking my old tracks? Because at this point, like, I'm not sure what really needs music.
We've done like the bass track, like all of the tracks that are in the original game are done, bar I think 2 or 3, which have been started but need sort of tweaking and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's thinking of ideas of like, oh well, there's this enemy. I suppose we could give them their own theme, but we don't necessarily need to. Same with areas. Like I think we've covered everywhere.
Wow.
Sure, yeah, because we just released LA's theme recently.
Yeah, which is brilliant. I love that middle section. Every time I hear it, I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's just spot on. Really great.
I think the one area song we're missing right now is Mounted Toy, which I'm gonna do soon.
Yeah, no, you've done that, haven't you?
I have, but I haven't redone it yet.
Yeah. To be honest, I want to redo Magic Hand because, well, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but I think you know why, Copper.
You might have to DM it to me.
I will DM it later, yes.
Alright, sweet.
Yeah, I'm sure Magicant's theme is going to be an important one to get down since it's heard so many times in the game too.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, I'm going to ask you each an individual question now. Copper first.
Oh boy.
I know you were working on your own projects with HYPERSOMNIA, which was in the Mother Direct. How's development been going on that, and how has your work on Encore affected it?
So, how long has it been since the direct? About a month and a half?
Yeah, about a month.
Yeah, so for the last month and a half, I've been laying out progression with the game's writer. Like we're getting into the finer details of it, you know, like Ross, the main protagonist. You know, it's like, if the game starts, we're at this scene, what is Ross supposed to do, right? And how does it get the game to progress? And we're trying to set up the first area of the game, because we have it mapped out. And now we're just like, okay, how do we put the story of HYPERSOMNIA in HYPERSOMNIA? And on the side, I've been working on just music and graphics for it, because it's good to just kind of have those on the side for whenever you need them.
Has Encore affected its development at all?
I would say it has, yeah. I know a guy that would say it negatively affected HYPERSOMNIA, but...
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I think it's very positively affected HYPERSOMNIA.
I feel like it would be positive to have experience working with another game.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time kind of looking how the Encore team kind of like flows and we all bounce off each other. And it's really shown me that just if you have a really solid team and you have a good vision, you can make a great game. And it's kind of given me like guidelines for how I should develop HYPERSOMNIA. I kind of been following in Encore's footsteps just a little bit, and it's helped out a lot.
Having a good kind of community for all the developers on a project, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Or else
Definitely.
not a lot of stuff would get done for it. So
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so now McThrillington, is there anything you're working on outside of Encore you'd like to talk about too, and how has Encore affected that, if at all?
Yeah, I'm doing bits and pieces everywhere, really. I've been producing somebody's album, which is nearly done. I've just been asked to do someone else's album, so that's going to be another 3 months. But the biggest thing that's happened recently has been this incredible gig down in Stockport in the United Kingdom, and it was in sort of celebration of the band 10cc. I'm not sure if anyone really knows them, but they were quite big in the 70s, and they had a hit called I'm Not In Love, which charted at #1, I think. If you've ever seen Guardians of the Galaxy, the track that plays where Star-Lord gets taken away, lovely track, beautiful. But yeah, we did a 50th anniversary gig for them, and it was incredible. We've professionally recorded it, cameras and stuff. We've got the audio professionally recorded as well. I'm going to have to do the mixing on that, so that's going to take about a month or something.
Oh boy.
It's about 1 terabyte of data, which is insane. But it was over two nights, and actually the last night we had the sound engineer who worked on that track, I'm Not In Love. He was there, the owner of Strawberry Studios, as well as the original live drummer from the band. He was there as well. Lovely chap. It was great. It was such an experience. The footage of that should be out on Sean's channel. Sean, who runs the Consequences podcast, that'll come up soon. So probably just stay updated on my Twitter, and I'll post a link.
Cool.
But it Encore has kind of affected that. I've been putting more into rehearsing with that than doing anything with Encore. But again, when inspiration strikes, there's nothing you can do but work on it. So there has been times where I've been rehearsing and I play a certain set of chords or like a riff or something, and I'm like, right, I need to drop what I'm doing and record this. and that's how some of the more recent stuff has come out, like that robot track, Metal Matron. Is that right?
Yeah,
I can't remember. Right. I can't remember what I called it, but
yeah, Metal Matron.
Yeah, that track just came from me messing around, and I was like, right, I need to put this down, and I released it literally the week of the performance.
Wow.
So yeah, it definitely has, but
super cool.
Not enough.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know that kind of feeling too. Working on my own game, whenever I get inspiration, I have to write it down like immediately too.
Yeah.
If anything ever hits, you gotta make sure you get it down. Moving on to just the last question. Generally, you kind of already mentioned what kind of plans you have, McThrillington, but if you have anything else you want to mention, do either of you have any specific upcoming plans outside of Encore or other projects, or outside of Hypersomnia for Copper?
I don't have anything at the moment, no. What about you?
Well, for anybody that watches my YouTube stuff, which isn't a lot of people, so I wouldn't be surprised. My first video is an album of a bunch of just random demos I had on my computer.
Nice.
And I've been putting together a new album recently, and I can't decide what genre it'll be. It'll probably just be like another demo album. But I've been that's been in the works for the last few weeks.
That's pretty exciting.
It's kind of hard. I don't know what direction I want to go with it.
You don't really need to have a direction as long as you have songs that you want to write. It doesn't have to be all thematically the same, you know?
Yeah.
As long as it's all out there. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
It's good stuff, and all of the stuff that you've been making recently has been top notch. So
Thank
I
you.
look forward to that.
Yeah, so that's about all the questions I have. Thank you both for being here and talking, letting everybody hear your thoughts on things. Is there anything else you want to mention before we finish it up?
Play Encore and listen to the soundtrack a lot, and like it and share it. Do your bit for the community, because
Listen to it as much as
we're
you
doing our
can.
bit. Yeah.
Get Mother Earth to 30K. We're almost there.
Yeah. Let's do that, and all the other tracks as well. Definitely.
Yeah. But most importantly, Mother Earth.
Yeah.
My track. Listen to it, please. I'd like to mention that I wanted to thank you for having us, Cody.
Oh yeah.
It's been a real pleasure.
Happy to have you both here, and I'm glad you could make some time to come talk. It was really cool to hear your thoughts on everything, and cool to hear about Encore's development and both of your projects outside of that too. A lot of fun. Thanks.
Actually, before I go, have you got your commissions open, Copper?
I should, yeah. I told Ash I'd open them in the summer, and it's July now.
Yeah,
probably should.
Now is time's a ticking. My commissions are open, even though my Twitter says closed. I think I've changed it now, actually. But yeah, I've opened up my commissions. Preferably
awesome.
don't don't give me too much to do because I've got a lot on. But if you want a track or two done, then I can do it for a reasonable price. And I also do production. I would rather do production because I prefer to not have to think about anything and just go through the processes of how to make a good sort of record. So yeah, DM me on Twitter if you want something.
Absolutely.
And if you don't, then don't DM me.
Yeah, so you heard them. Everybody go commission both of them for some good stuff if you need any music.
And follow HYPERSOMNIA too.
That too. Absolutely.
Please do,
yeah, watch the trailer. That just came out in the Mother Direct. It was really awesome, and that involved both of them too. So
yeah.
Owen did most of the music part of it.
Yeah.
Well, I did the least important. You did the lyrics and the voice and stuff. You know that I couldn't do. I couldn't sing it. I tried, but it just doesn't suit my voice. But you did a really great job, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks again to both of you, and thank you everybody for watching.